Welcome back to day 2 of Ratio and Proportions EOG review. Warm-up, notes, and a bit.ly at the end. So, with our warm-up, number 1, we're solving if y is really negative 12, then what is 3 times x plus 6 equals y? So the first thing, a little bit of 6th grade problem thrown in here. We're just going to kind of plug in and set up the problem and then solve for our variable of x. So, this was 3 times x plus 6 equals y. Well, we know y was really negative 12, so honestly, the real problem was 3 times x plus 6 equals negative 12. From there, we're going to start isolating x by doing inverse operations, golden rule, whatever we do to one side, we do the same to the other. So we have plus 6, so the first step is to subtract 6. Negative 12 minus 6 in a calculator is negative 18. 3 times x equals negative 18. I said times 3, so that's why I divided each side by 3. Negative 18 divided by 3 is negative 6. So number 1, you should have got A, negative 6. Again, it makes sense because 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. Negative 18 plus 6 is negative 12. I checked my work. I know I have a solid answer. Number 2, which of the following correctly shows negative 3x, parentheses 2x plus 4y minus 2 times 2x minus 3 or 2y? First up, I have 2 over-unders, 2 distribution problems. First one, I'm over-undering the negative 3. The second part, I'm over-undering a negative 2. So be careful that you see your positives and your negatives. First up, negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. Negative 3 times positive 4y is negative 12y. The second half of the problem, negative 2 times 2x is negative 4x. Negative 2 times negative 2y. Again, representing that as a negative 2y is positive 4y. So if you did not have negative 6x minus 12y minus 4x plus 4y, you've already set up the problem wrong, and you're going to end up combining some different terms. From there, using some sort of system, whether it's boxes, circles, squiggly lines, triangles, whatever you need to do to keep your work nice, neat, and organized, I have negative 6x minus 4x, that's negative 10x. I have negative 12 plus 4y. I have negative 8y. And again, I just searched, do I have something that's equivalent to that up here? Yes, answer choice D is exactly how I have it written. If you had negative 8y minus 10x, we're talking the same exact thing. It's just you had your problem written a little bit differently. Okay? Number 3, ticket problem, or probability rather, sorry. A classroom has a total of 25 students. 14 of them are boys. What is the probability that we get a girl that's chosen as a line leader? These problems, really, honestly, the easiest way is to kind of just organize your work and kind of take notes on the problem. So the first thing, I know that there's 25 total students. It tells me right there. I know that 14 of them are boys. The question is, how many girls are in that class? Because they want to know what's the probability that a girl gets chosen. Well, I know how many total, I know how many boys. I can either subtract or count up from 14 to figure out how many there were. So again, 25 minus 14 means 11 of them are girls. Well now, I have everything I need for probability. I have the probability that a boy or a girl is chosen, and I know that there's a total of 25. So again, I read carefully. It wants the probability of a girl. There's 11 girls out of 25 students. You put that in a calculator. If you're unsure, it's still going to say 11 out of 25, so you know you have the correct answer. And last one, number 4, another one of those composite figures. So again, first thing, break the shapes apart. I see a semicircle and I see a triangle. Not only did I draw out the semicircle, but I put some dots around it just to let me know, hey, I don't have a regular circle, I have just half of it. And then I broke out the triangle, I labeled the height and the base, everything they told me is true. This 12 goes all the way across the bottom of that semicircle, right here. It is clearly a diameter. So, the first thing I did was kind of start setting up my problem for my circle. I know my diameter is 12, my radius is half as big. Since this said area, I'm going to get rid of my diameter because area, we use a radius. From there, got to know our formulas. We know that pi radius squared is how we find the area of a circle. I have my radius is 6, so pi 6 to the 2nd power is about 113. Now I have the area of the semicircle, but there's still more work to do. They have a triangle in the middle of it, and that triangle is coming out of. They're taking area away from the semicircle. How do you find the area of a triangle? 1/2 base times height, or base times height divided by 2, whichever one you learn is okay because they both have the same mathematical meaning. 1/2 times the base 2, again, I knew that because in the picture, they are telling me that the distance from here to here is 2, and then that dotted line is usually how we find the height of a triangle. 1/2 times 6 times 2 is 6. So now I have the area of the semicircle, I have the area of the triangle. Shaded regions, easiest way to remember, shaded, subtract. So last step is 113 minus 6, the area of the circle minus the area of the triangle. You get an answer of 107 units squared. All right. Day 2 of ratio and proportion. Same thing, we're going to start with our daily dose of algebra, some of these complex two-step equations. Each day I added a little extra to it just so that you're prepared. There should be nothing you're confused on at the end of the year. You will see this at the end of the year on the EOG, so you got to know kind of how to set them up, because once you set them up, everybody really does know how to solve them. They're the same as all two-step equations. Remember, reading algebra makes life easier. 6 times x plus 4 divided by -2. Again, the entire top expression is being divided by -2. So the first thing we need to do is break this problem apart. 6 over -2x. Now, here's where we have to think that was a little bit differently than yesterday. We have two symbols here for the second part. We have +4 and -2. So, one of the easiest ways to figure this out is to actually put it in a calculator and see which one the calculator gives you as an answer. So when you put 4 over -2 in a calculator, it's going to reduce it, but it's going to say the answer is -2. So again, we could set this up as just plugging all these fractions in quickly and reducing it down. So you could have also seen something like -3x minus 2 equals 19. These would be the same equation because 6 divided by -2 is -3, and 4 divided by -2 is -2. But again, if you want to leave them as fractions, you just got to be careful. Hey, when I have two symbols, what symbol is it really? Again, we put that in a calculator. We let the calculator tell us what symbol we need. From there, we solve it just like we do all two-step equations. I'm trying to get this x by itself. Well, I have -4 over 2. So the first step, we add 4 over 2. 19 plus 4 over 2 is 21. So 6 divided by -2 times x equals 21. Well, this is a fraction being multiplied. So I divided each side by 6 over -2. 21 divided by 6 over -2 is going to say that the answer is -7. Again, you can always check your work in geometry. I will show it off to the side. The real problem, remember, was 6 times x. Well, we know x is -7, so 6 times -7 minus 4 all over -2. We put this in a calculator, we press equals, we should get back to positive 19, and 19 is the same as 19. Thumbs up, we know we're correct. All right, today, we are going to be doing unit rate problems this time. The information is going to be presented a little bit differently. We're going to be using tables, charts, and graphs, sometimes called constant of proportionality. The constant of proportionality is just another fancy term for unit rate. We're trying to find one of something. So, how can unit rate be used to find from tables, charts, and graphs? Again, no calculator today. Tomorrow we get back to some problems with a calculator. So, we have a little bit of a scenario here, and they give us a chart. The Smith family is choosing between two companies to clean their carpet. The Jones company, right here, uses the equation y is the same as 40 times x to determine how much they charge. Andy's carpet cleaning company has the price shown in a table. Which one's the better deal and how much? So, the first thing I did, I have my table and I also took the information from Jones's cleaning company and put it here. And I tried to think, well, what are they trying to tell me here? Well, $40 times the number of hours, x represents the number of rooms, tells me the total amount. So right here, all I did was find out that it's $40 for every room that they clean. They are telling you the information for Jones. There's no work to do. The Andy's cleaning company, we have to think to ourselves, how can we find out how much one room is? They tell us 2 rooms is $70 and 5 rooms is $150. So I'm going to use the information from the chart to try to come up with a strategy. How can I use that information to figure out how much one room is? Well, remember, anytime we're trying to find out how much one of something is, we're really talking unit rate. So we know that dollars over rooms. $70 for 2 rooms. We don't know how much money 1 room is. But if we cross multiply, we get 2 times x is the same as 70. Divide each side by 2, and we're going to find out 1 room is 35. So from there, now we got to figure out what's the better buy. Well, 1 room is $35 per room. The other one is 40. We clearly know that Andy is cheaper. How much cheaper? We know that it would be $5 cheaper. So Andy by $5. Okay, so again, we use the information from the chart, we use the information from the word problem, we think about how those things interact with each other to answer the actual question. Another one that I'll model for you. First off, we're going to be using a graph for this one. So, first thing, find a point that is accurate. You cannot estimate. It has to be where the x and the y line up. So this chart has 4 dots on it, on a line. They are actually all good dots to use. You could use 6 over 4, 9 over 6, 15 over 10, or 18 over 12. If there was a dot somewhere not perfectly lined up, then we cannot use that point. We cannot guess or estimate the value of the x and the y. Now, we want to use that to find out how many heartbeats occur per second. So we're comparing heartbeats to time in seconds. Right there, there's our given ratio. We know that it's heartbeats to seconds. Again, you could pick any point you want, but usually the point that's closest to the origin, closest to 0, 0, is usually the easiest numbers to work with. So again, it's 6 heartbeats in 4 seconds. Heartbeats to seconds, so I know it's 6 over 4. It says per second. Well, I know that's 1 second. From there, now I got to cross multiply and solve. 4 times x is 4x. 6 times 1 is 1. We divide each side by 4. 6 divided by 4 is 6 over 4. So you may end up having to do 6 over 1 divided by 4 over 1 without a calculator. Keep, change, flip. And we're going to end up seeing, 1 over 4. And yes, you get 6 over 4. Well, 4 goes into 6 one time. Right there, you should kind of just know that it's got to be 1 with something left over. It's really 1 1/2. 1 1/2 is really the same as 1.5. Okay, from there, I would try this one on your own. When you're done, unpause the video and go ahead and listen to my explanation. Okay, again, they give us a chart. This time, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different dots on here, but there's only one that I can use, and it's the 3rd dot that's right in the middle. This is in between 30 and 60. I'm not sure, I cannot use it. This 2nd dot is between 60 and 90. It might be 70, it might be 71, it might be 72. We don't know, we can't use it. This dot, however, clearly is $120 for 3 days. Again, the top 2 points, they're in between an x and a y, cannot guess, cannot estimate. So, first off, it says, which equation correctly shows the cost C and D days? So they're comparing the cost to the days. So again, I know that it's dollars divided by days. That point that I picked is $120 for 3 days. So from there, we got to cross multiply and solve. Well, when we get that, we know that 120 divided by 3 is 40. But there's 2 answer choices that have 40. So we got to use the information that we use, the dollars and the days, the cost and the days to plug in and see. Answer choice C says the cost is equal to 40 times the days. D says the opposite. The days is the same as 40 times the cost. All I did is I know the cost is 40, plugged it in for C. I know the days are 3, plugged it in for D, and saw which one's true. It's either 40 times 3 is 40 times 3 is 120, or 120 times 40 is 3. This answer choice, letter choice C, correctly represents that graph. Again, tables, I'll show you one. They give you which of the following equations, A, B, C, or D. Shows the table below. We got number of pens P, cost in dollars D. Well, the first thing I got to figure out is how much is one pencil. or 1 pen. So again, I am trying to figure out dollars to pens. So again, it was 48 cents divided by 4. That's the top line. 72 cents divided by 6, or $1.44 divided by 12. Again, usually the top row is the easiest numbers to work with. 48 cents divided by 4. It's really a long division problem. Showed the work off to the side. I find out that 1 pen is 12 cents. Well, right there, I've eliminated C and D. A and B both have that 12 cents. So I got to think to myself, which one is true? A says the pens are equal to 12 cents times the dollars. B says the opposite. The dollars is the same as 12 cents times the pens. 4 is not equal to 12 cents times 48 cents, but 12 cents times 4, 12, 24, 36, 48 cents is the correct answer. So answer choice B would correctly show everything needed for that problem. Again, one more for you to try. Pause the video, see how you did before you get into today's assignment. Unpause the video, be ready to go here. All right, again, Mark's raking leaves for extra money. We want to see, can we write an equation that would make this chart true? So again, he's comparing time to dollars made. So again, I know that it's dollars D for time T. Again, I would probably use either the top row or the middle row. I use the middle row because my 5 times tables are much faster than any of my other times tables. So I just plugged in $42.50 divided by 5. Again, I showed the work. I end up getting $8.50 per hour. Now, I got to think to myself, I know that this is my total, and that's the time. So again, I can say this is true. 8.5, the dollars, times the time, tells me the total money I made. Because if I plug in numbers from the chart, 8.5 times 3 is 25.50. 8.5 times 5 is $42.50. I'm taking the amount he makes per hour times the number of hours, and that tells me the total cost that he makes. So again, if you got to go back through this video at all and check over, one last example to earn your work. Again, which garage costs more money and how much more money? So we're trying to figure out which one's actually the worst deal here. Again, they tell us that parking garage A, the modeled equation is used. Below there's a chart. So again, the first thing I did in this problem is I determined what information did they give me. The first one, garage A, there was no work to do. They already told me how much. $11.25 per hour. Well then, this chart, again, I could have used any line or any row I wanted. They all divide out the same. 44 divided by 4, 66 divided by 6, 99 divided by 9. They all give you $11. Once I know how much each garage is, I look back at the question. Which one is more money? So answer choice A, it's garage A. And how much more? Well, it's 25 cents more. So it'd be A by 25 cents. Something like that. Okay? When you're ready, make sure you get your second bit.ly done. It'll be on the main paper back at the beginning.